the news in full. The All Progressives Congress presidential candidate in the 2023 general elections, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, to meet with the former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's helicopter touched down at the OOPL ground around 1 in the afternoon and proceeded to meet the former president, joined by 2 former governors in Ogun State. Bumi Adigun, who covered the visit, said the meeting lasted 2 hours behind closed doors.
An electrifying atmosphere it was as the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, accompanied by the former governor of Osun State and former national chairman of Action Congress of Nigeria, Chief Bisi Akonde, Nuhu Ribadu, and the speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, also on the entourage. Governor Dapo Abiodun, 2 former governors of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba and Otunba Gbenga Daniel, were there to receive them. The convoy moved straight to the residence of the former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and the meeting went into a closed door. Although pictures of those who were at the meeting were later released on social media as the meeting was going on, as it lasted 2 hours. Finally, the meeting ended and the mammoth crowd, patiently awaiting its emergence, spontaneously went frenzy, eager to know the outcome of the meeting. Similarly, journalists who also converged to scoop headline story were not able to get any information about what transpired during the meeting, as the atmosphere was too rowdy. Over 30 groups, political affiliations, market men and women, professional groups who have come to show solidarity together chorused that indeed Asiwaju Tinubu is the next man.
2023, something great, something massive is awaiting the All Progressive Congress. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his pedigree has spoken for him, his track record has spoken for him, his ability to build manpower.
Are ready to galvanize towards the campaign organization to make sure that our principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is sworn in May 29, 2023.
With the development of what is happening in Lagos State, we believe Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu can turn around the entire Nigeria.
Somebody who have really contributed immensely to the development of politics, the democracy of Nigeria, somebody that really deserves to be honored, somebody that really deserves to be really emulated.
Others dressed in different attires with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's picture assured him of their support before, during, and after the election.
But come 2023, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to become the president of Nigeria because he's the only one that can do it. Not only that, come 2023, Abeokuta is coming again to consolidate what he has started with.
So the women are here to support him, to show him love, and to let him know that come 2023, we are voting en masse for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I urge everybody to fall in line and then vote Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
And you can see the turnout of women. That is to tell you that the women of Ogun State are solidly behind our presidential candidate.
This is massive. That shows you that he's the man of the people. So either anybody likes it or not, that's the way to go.
Our mission is to campaign, door-to-door campaign for him in all local governments of Ogun State.
As the clock ticks towards the takeoff of electioneering campaign, the atmosphere indeed is an indication that Ogun State is ready to be at the forefront of giving all its support through the ballots come the 2023 general elections. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has promised to collaborate with the artisans to improve on their trade, being the driver of the state gross domestic product. Governor Abiodun made this known during the 2022 Artisan Day celebration held at the MKO Abiola International Stadium, Abeokuta. The event attracted distinguished personalities, including the presidential candidate of All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, among others. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, accompanied by the Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Ogun State Governor Prince Dakwa Abeokuta, and the two former governors of the state, Aremo Olusegun Oshoba and Otumba Gbenga Daniel, among other distinguished personalities, arrived at MKO Abiola International Stadium, Kuto, Abeokuta, for the 2022 Artisans Day celebration.
The roles artisans play both in politics and socio-economic development.
Governor Abeokuta thanked the association. Governor Abeokuta thanked the association for its support and described the artisans as employers of labor that had contributed immensely to the growth of the state's economy.
I want to appreciate all our artisans. You are the heartbeat of the economy in Ogun State. I want to thank you for your patience, for your collaboration, for your cooperation, for joining hands with us in our resolve to building the future of this great state together.
While urging the artisan to continue to support his government, the governor promised that he would do everything possible to appreciate their efforts in the agenda of building the future of the state together.
I want to thank all of you, particularly the artisans in the building sector, for the success of our affordable homes in Kenta, in Kobape, in Shagamu, in Ijebode, and in Laro. You are the main drivers of our GDP in Ogun State. And may God continue to bless you.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu expressed delight over the governor's performance and thanked the people of the state for the support not only to Prince Dakwa Abeokuta but for the party.
God bless Ogun State. God bless Nigeria. God bless your children. All of you. Thank you.
A highlight of the event was the presentation of a new bus by Governor Dakwa Abeokuta to the association, performed by the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dakwa Abeokuta has approved the setting up of a 7-man committee that will continue to see to the affairs of community development councils, despite the lacuna surrounding the laws governing the council. Governor Abeokuta made this known while receiving the leaders of community development councils across the state. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu once again reports.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dakwa Abeokuta, joined by other members of the State Executive Council, to receive leaders of Community Development Council from the 3 senatorial districts and zonal chairmen across the 20 local government areas to interact, find lasting solutions to some lingering issues, improve the standard of each community, and enhance socio-economic development of the state. The governor intimated the council about his administration achievements in the last 3.5 years through the Ishaya mantra, which has brought about meaningful development to the nooks and crannies, especially in the areas of infrastructure development, among others in the state.
An urbanization renewal project that is being funded by the United Kingdom Foreign Development Office. And that project involves Abeokuta. We bidded for it amongst, I think, maybe 20 countries and 100 cities bidded, and we were successful. Abeokuta was chosen, but we managed to include Mowe Ibafo in that urban renewal program. I will also be giving out transformers to local governments, but I will be handing those transformers over to the CDCs and the council chairman.
The governor assured the council that all necessary things will be done, particularly in the provision of the Okowo Dakwa initiative to empower the youth and women at the community level.
I want to promise that, I have not involved you as much as we probably should have. I will continue to remain laser focused. But I promise that going forward, there will be an improvement in our cooperation and collaboration.
In his remarks, the chairman CDC Ogun Central Senatorial District, Alhaji Waheed Adekunle, was full of appreciation to the state government for the level of development across the length and breadth of the state, urging the state government to further collaborate with the CDC in order to have a feel of the community and also engage the youth and women living in the communities in order to improve the standard of living across the states. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Still to come in the news, President Buhari swears in Mohammed Bello Shehu as new chairman, Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. We will bring you details of this and youths in Ogun State under the aegis of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN, have declared their total support for the second-term admission of Governor Dapo Abiodun. The president of NYCN in the state, Abdul-Jabbar Ayelagbe, confirmed this while speaking on behalf of members of the council during a courtesy visit to Governor Dapo Abiodun in Abeokuta. Governor's office correspondent Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
Youths are the most important stakeholders for the development of any nation. For this reason, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun received the youths in Ogun State under the aegis of National Youth Council of Nigeria to have an insight on how to further engage and empower the youths for socio-economic transformation of the state. Governor Abiodun said that his administration would continue to engage and encourage youth in the state, adding that his administration would continue to give youth the opportunity to contribute their quota to the development of the state. The governor also noted that he would look at the possibility of completing the dilapidated Youth Development Center in Okelewu area of Abeokuta, adding that his administration would also look to contribute its quota towards the birth of a youth parliament in the state.
That they want us to focus on community youth, and that these community youth, many of them do not even have a voice. So I charge them with that responsibility of advising us on how to empower and engage community youth. I'm also going to charge you with that responsibility as well. That let us not be behind community youth that, when the community they don't go out. That impacted the lives of youth in these specific ways, that are measurable, not ways that are not quantifiable.
The President, Youth Council in the state, Abdul-Jabbar Ayelagbe, while noting that Governor Abiodun has changed the narrative behind governance by adding human face to administration, noted that the state helmsman has also shown that governance is not about talking and boasting about what can be achieved.
We consider ourselves as being part of this administration. We consider that there is human face to administration. So we are learning that from you. So we sincerely appreciate the way and manner you are leading us in the state.
Ayelagbe expressed his delight at the construction of the Agrocargo airport in the state, said the ripple effect of the airport would see jobs created for unemployed youths in the state. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Ogun State House of Assembly has screened 2 additional commissioner nominees whose names were transmitted to the legislative arm by the state governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, for screening and approval, with a charge on them to always initiate programs that will better the lot of the people of the state. The Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, who presided over the screening exercise, disclosed that the nomination of Mrs. Olufemi Ilori Odunton and Alhaji Jamiu Kolawole Odetogun as commissioners would add values to governance in the state. Correspondent Kolawole Osho was there. His report is presented in this package.
In order to consolidate on good governance in Ogun State, the state governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has forwarded names of 2 additional commissioner nominees to the Ogun State House of Assembly. The nominees are Mrs. Olufemi Ilori Odunton and Alhaji Jamiu Kolawole Odetogun, who hails from Abeokuta local government, is a proactive professional with undeniable skills in brand exposures and transportation management. While speaking, he promised to play the game according to the rule by contributing his quota to the development of the state. On her part, Mrs. Olufemi Ilori Odunton from Abeokuta South local government, a qualified realtor in shelter management and a professional health scientist in patient healthcare services, assured the lawmakers of using her vast experience in her chosen career for the development of the state. Speaker Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, while screening the nominees alongside other lawmakers, charged them to justify the confidence reposed in them by rendering more service for the socio-economic development of the state.
As a government, let's work together for the progress of the state. We are giving that privilege today. I want you to go and be a good ambassador of politicians in the ministry where you are. Don't deny our people who have helped in bringing this government to power as politicians. Don't ignore them. Whatever they will come for, do your best for them so that the party will have good name within the community.
Oluomo stated further that it was important for the nominees, when eventually confirmed and sworn in, to join hands with the governor to complement the rapid development witnessed in the state, while charging them to always initiate programs that would better the lots of the people of the state.
Women in Remo zone of Ogun State have hailed the Okowo Dapo initiative, which is projected to reinforce the financial base and business skills of the beneficiaries. This accolade came from participants at a Train the Trainers workshop on Okowo Dapo initiative. Elizabeth Eson covered the workshop at Shagamu. A report.
A clue from the federal government's Nigeria for Women project informed the Ogun State government Okowo Dapo, an initiative of the state governor, Prince Dapo Abeokuta, go back to their different communities to form affinity groups of women.
Yes, so it's about training our women on how to liberate themselves through savings. So they come together as a group. Women from 20, there will be 20 women in a group. They must be engaged in a means of activity, economic generating activity. So, and they must be together. They must have this affinity that brings them together with the sole purpose of saving and loaning in this group to elevate their means of sustainability and also their household economy.
The women, while commending Prince Dapo Abeokuta for running an all-inclusive government by giving the women a voice through an empowerment program like Okowo Dapo, confirmed that the training had broadened their horizon on ease of doing business and making profits.
I really enjoyed the program seriously because all what I didn't know about business before, I thank God that I have the knowledge now and I can even teach some people, all groups, all what they have taught me here.
About our needs, how to save money, how to cash out, how to do our businesses, how to accommodate people.
So not to be putting money on Ashoegbe, Ashoebi, or jewelries or any other thing. He wants us to stand on our own.
I believe it is a system that will develop our women to have their own banking system in such a way that within a local setting, we can arrange ourselves into a group and form a good money management team.
It will be recalled that the state governor, Prince Dapo Abeokuta, recently launched 35% women participation both in politics and government. And Okowo Dapo is another avenue for women empowerment. Elizabeth Eson, OGTV News.
In a similar development, the interest-free loan facilities for women in Ogun State, tagged Okowo Dapo, is the means devised by the current administration in the state to reach out to women and improve their fortunes. Some of the facilitators from different wards in Abeokuta, Ewekuru, and Ifo local governments made this known during the Training the Trainers workshop held at Bizas Hotel, Ota. Matthew Showumi reports that the program is a pointer to people-centered disposition of the government.
Call it the laying of a solid foundation for a program expected to turn the fortune of many women around and improve their financial capacity, as ward facilitators are here being trained to effectively cascade the program down to the beneficiaries. Okowo Dapo, as an interest-free loan facility and wealth distribution strategy, is an initiative of the Ogun State government directed at women across the state for financial inclusion and to deliver them from the burden of difficult loans. And the purpose of this workshop is to train the facilitators that would in turn train the beneficiaries to ensure the success of the program. The beneficiaries lauded the program, which was a good way of improving the life of women in the state, thereby enhancing the socio-economic development of the state through the financial empowerment.
It is not giving us fish to eat. It is now teaching us how to fish by ourselves. And once you fish by yourself, you'll be able to eat the juicy part of the fish.
It's going to help a lot of women. This loan is a very, the one that will make your mind to be at rest. We really appreciate them. And we want more of this to be coming up.
Speaking with beneficiaries on telephone, the State Deputy Governor, Engineer Norman Salako Yedele, encouraged them to make good use of the opportunity. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Mrs. Melutia Ogunremi, said the best way to ensure many women benefit from the program was to lay a solid foundation that will lead to a resounding success.
When the Nigeria for Women project came on, he saw the good that project had done to the women of Ogun State. And he said, okay, he could take a cue from that and thereby build the Okowodapo scheme.
The team leader for the training, Mrs. Okpoluwa Soro, said the facilitators are being given the necessary financial and management skills to coordinate the beneficiaries of the scheme.
Is to train the ward facilitators on the work formation, how to mobilize women to form groups, which we call women affinity groups. So of 20 women in a group.
There were different sessions on how to manage finances and coordinate group activities. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
Ogun Gwandon Free Trade Zone will continue to pave way for massive investments to make Ogun State foremost in the ease of doing business in the country and one that encourages small and medium enterprises. The newly appointed chairman, Board of Directors, Ogun Gwandon Free Trade Zone, Igbesa, Ajia Hafsat Oduwole Tafarabalewa, confirmed this while briefing the press on her plans and activities as chairman in the coming days. Elizabeth Tesson, who witnessed the event held at the conference room of the company, reports that royal fathers and some group leaders from Igbesa land were in attendance.
China-Africa Summit Forum, held in Beijing in 2006 with decision to establish numerous cooperation zones of China in Africa, which will be beneficial to the economy of the nation as well as strengthening trade relations between the two countries, birthed the Ogun Gwandong Free Trade Zone, situated at Igbesa, Ogun State. Activities of the free trade zones in Nigeria are joint venture between Chinese conglomerates and the Ogun State government.
Stability and peace are crucial part of that development. So, no matter how difficult in this period, we will still keep moving forward, enhance our infrastructure, and keep prosperity for this industrialization area.
Recently, there was change of burden as one of the directors of the governing board, Ajia Hafsat Oduwole Tafarabalewa, was made the new chairman to run the affairs of Free Trade Zone by the state governor, Prince Takwa Abiodun. At a press conference with the theme Sustainability, Stability and Prosperity, held at the conference room of the company, Ajia Hafsat confirmed that with a capacity, combined with members' cooperation, OGTV will become a shining beacon of the Nigerian manufacturing industry, known for its world-best practices and utmost international standard.
Having lived most of my adult life in a first world country, where I was opportune to study, work, and with the help of God, excel, and knowing how adaptable and willing my governor wished to ease the pathway of businesses for the common man and foreign investors, I can say I am in the right position to guarantee all stakeholders we shall succeed with an overwhelming victory.
The Oloja Ekun of Igbesa land, Oba Abdulaziz Akinde, and the director, Honorable Kazim Salako, while pledging their full support, called for more corporate social responsibilities in Igbesa land.
I believe strongly in the long term, as I discussed with the general manager yesterday, in the long term, I believe my people will respond positively if they can see the future benefits that will accrue to every household.
I can assure you that we will always interface and engage ourselves meaningfully so that we can know issues of common interest that can help us to propel the zone.
The chairman thereafter led all on a facility tour of some of the sections of the free trade zone. The primary focus of the free trade zone is on the manufacturing and processing industries, such as furniture manufacturing, manufacture of lightweight objects, and ceramics. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
The Ogun State chapter of Local Government Pensioners Association, LOGPAN, has confirmed that the lingering crisis between the state government and the association has been resolved. The state chairman of the association, Chief Sikiru Ailara, who made this known in an interview with newsmen shortly after a closed-door meeting with Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta at Abeokuta, thanked him for accepting to look into the issue of harmonization in the state. Explaining the reason behind the association's visit to the governor's office, Mr. Ailara said himself and other members of the association came to discuss issues concerning the welfare of the pensioners in the state and also to appeal to the governor to approve the harmonization which he has agreed to look into.
Mr. Governor, to give us harmonization, and he has promised to look into it.
Mr. Ailara, while commending the governor for fulfilling the promise of releasing 500 million naira quarterly for the payment of gratuities in the state, urged the governor to review the payment upward in order to fast-track the payment of gratuities to his members. A new chairman has been sworn in to fill the existing vacancy in the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. He is Mohammed Bello Shehu, who was until now the secretary to the commission. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the ceremony before the commencement of the Federal Executive Council meeting. Screened and found worthy for the job by the Senate, Mohammed Bello Shehu takes oath of office and allegiance before President Muhammadu Buhari. This is in line with Section 154, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, as amended. Shehu from Zania local government area of Kaduna State holds 2 bachelor's degree in education as well as a master's in industrial relations and strategic studies from Colorado State University, United States, and Igbinedion University, Edo State. Before his appointment as Secretary, Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Financial Commission, the new chairman of the commission worked in both private and public sectors in Nigeria and the United States in 1993 and 2020.
I may not be the best in Nigeria, but in his wisdom, he decided to make me the chairman of Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission.
Bello promised to not only add value to the commission, but also live above board in the discharge of his responsibilities.
As revenue mobilization is how we can assist Mr. President to get more revenue for the Federation, block leakages, looking at the constitutional responsibility of the Commission, which of course are, monitoring of accruals to Federation account and disbursement, and also taking care of the salaries of political office holders and judicial officers as enshrined in the Constitution. That had not been reviewed since 2008, and I think there is agitation for that. Revenue allocation formula had not been touched for about 29 years. The Constitution says after a period of 5 years can be reviewed, looking at the circumstances of the country. More states have been created. And also our other responsibility, like monitoring of CBN, monitoring of Ministry of Finance, Customs, NNPC, those are huge tasks. I know there is a lot of debate on whether there is operating surplus, like some of the agencies of government will claim that what they are getting is surplus of revenue. Revenue is revenue as far as the commission is concerned.
The new chairman succeeded Elias Mbam, who resigned to pursue political aspirations. Nigerians are set to benefit from a new trading scheme in the United Kingdom that will cut price tariffs on hundreds of everyday products exported into the country from 2023. UK's International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan announced this at the official launch of the Developing Countries Trading Scheme in Abuja. In 2018, former Prime Minister of the UK, Theresa May, had hinted about a new trade deal and economic partnership during her visit to Nigeria. The scheme means that a wide variety of products from clothes, shoes, and food items, including olive oil and tomatoes, imported from Africa to the United Kingdom will benefit from lower or zero tariffs. The trading scheme will assist British businesses earn £750 million per year from reduced import costs, leading to more choices and lower costs for the UK consumers to help with the cost of living. Electricity workers under the aegis of the National Union of Electricity Employees have suspended their industrial actions for 2 weeks. The union embarked on the strike on Wednesday, shutting down the national grid to press home their demands. The federal government immediately summoned an emergency meeting with the workers after they shut down the national grid, throwing the nation into darkness. It was gathered that the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, succeeded in reaching a truce with the workers to suspend the strike. The Nigerian Air Force has said there should be synergy between the agency and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to better protect the people of Oyo State. Air Commodore Nasir Folaji of the Nigerian Air Force 661 Detachment, Ibadan, said this when he visited the Oyo State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. The public relations officer of the NSCDC Command, Oyindamola Okuneye, made this known in a statement. The Air Force boss pledged the continued support of the security agency for NSCDC, whom he described as a partner in progress. He said security of the nation is the duty of all security operatives. Therefore, there should be a synergy of efforts between the two security agencies. The state commandant of the NSCDC, Michael Adaralewa, noted that the era of interagency rivalry was over, as the common goal of the two agencies is the security of lives and properties of the people of Oyo State and the nation at large. Veteran journalist and former Chief Press Secretary to ex-military President Ibrahim Babangida, Duro Onobule, is dead. The former presidential spokesman died on Tuesday at the age of 83. As of the time of this report, the cause of his death is unknown. The journalist was born in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State on September 27, 1939. He attended CMS Grammar School and School of Journalism, London. He worked as a reporter for the Daily Express in 1961 before he joined the Daily Sketch and returned to Daily Express. In 1969, he served as the London correspondent of the Express. In the mid-70s, he worked for the Daily Times, rising to become a deputy editor. Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Prince Dakwa Abeokuta has expressed grief over the demise of a veteran journalist and erstwhile Chief Press Secretary to former military President General Ibrahim Babangida, retired Chief Duro Onobule. Chief Onobule was reported to have died on Tuesday evening at the age of 83. The governor, in a condolence statement by his Chief Press Secretary Kunle Shomori on Wednesday, said he received the death of the Ijebu-Ode-born foremost journalist with a shock. Governor Abiodun, who described late Onobule as one of the finest experts of the pen profession, noted that the nation would not forget his role as the mouthpiece of the military government of Babangida's regime. He added that the former editor of the defunct Concord newspaper would always be remembered and missed for his profound comments on national issues via his column in the Sun newspaper. The governor noted further that the younger generations of journalists would also miss a national figure and father mentor in the late journalist, while declaring that the state would always remember the personality of Onobule's pen. The governor commiserated with his immediate family, Ijebu-Ode, and the entire state. He equally prayed for the repose of the soul of the former journalism guru. The governor said he received the news of one of the finest journalists Nigeria can boast of with great shock, saying he remained a trailblazer in his profession who proved his mettle while serving as the spokesman of IBB's regime. Though his death is a national loss, Ogun State will fill the vacuum most as one of the illustrious sons and gift to Nigeria is gone and will be sorely missed, the statement concluded. You're watching OGTV News. Business News is next. Do join us.
You're welcome to the business segment of the news. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts is investigating the Federal Ministry of Agriculture over the award of contract worth about 18.9 billion naira to several companies to clear bushes during the COVID-19 lockdown. Chairman of the committee, Oluwole Oke, made this known at an investigative hearing in Abuja. The lawmaker stated that the House was interested in finding out the location and significance of such project. He disclosed that the committee had consequently invited the ministry and the companies involved. The invited firms were, however, conspicuously absent at the hearing without any reason for their non-appearance. The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council unveiled its plans to kickstart a $750 million World Bank-funded program in January next year. This was as Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said the kind of business environment Nigeria required for significant economic growth could only be achieved through hard work at the sub-national level. Osinbajo made the assertion during a meeting of the PEBEG, where he received briefing on the State Action on Business Enabling Reforms program coordinated by the Secretariat and the World Bank. Commercial transporters in Lagos have said that the state government's plan to roll out a 500,000-seater train will not affect their business because rail lines have and cannot cover the length and breadth of the state. They said the government's plan to transport citizens via trains would also help reduce traffic congestion on Lagos roads. The exchange rate between the Naira and the US dollar closed at 430.67 Naira per dollar at the investors and exporters window where Forex is traded officially. Naira depreciated by 0.16% to close trading at 430.67 Naira at the official market. This follows a 62.5% decline in the amount of traded Forex in the market. Notably, Forex turnover fell from $134.3 million traded on Monday to $50.4 million on Tuesday. Similarly, Naira depreciated on Wednesday morning, trading at a minimum of 680.4 Naira per dollar compared to 676.38 Naira per dollar recorded in the previous trading session. Meanwhile, Kenya's currency, the shilling, weakened against the dollar on Tuesday as the country's election commission announced Deputy President William Ruto winner of the country's election the day before. On Monday, August 15th, the Kenyan shilling was trading at 119.25 shillings per dollar, but fell to its lowest level against the greenback on Tuesday, trading at 199.50 shillings. The currency of East Africa's largest economy has fallen by 6.46% against the US dollar since January. Kenya's incoming president would have to confront concerns about dollar supply head-on, according to expert. And that's it on Business News Tonight. Back to Tunji for the segment of the news.